So welcome. Today we're going to be doing project number 3 in the Whimsical Trees class kit. And this kit's available through November 16th. And you can always get the details on my current classes on my website, www.carolbcrafts.com. Okay, so this is adorable little Christmas card. It's not exactly your traditional colors, but I think it's very festive and very pretty. So let's just get started. So you know that with your kits, everything comes pre-cut for you except the things you cut with your dies. So we have some ribbon, so we need to be aware of our ribbon before we start putting all of our things together. And it looks like I'm not in focus. Okay, I'm in focus now. I don't understand why this is the way it is. Okay, so let's see. What should we do first? Let's go ahead and do as much as we can. So we've got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of thick basic white cardstock that I've scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold that in and then take our bone folder and crease that fold. I think this is the easiest part of the kit. So, okay. And then we have a piece of mint macaron. We've been using a lot of that this season. It must be the color of the year or something. And that doesn't look quite right. It isn't. This should be 5 3/8. So let me cut that really quick. So we have 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now it's the right size. Okay, so I'm going to take some Stampin' seal, put a couple of rows of sticky there, and put this on the front. And there's just a 1/16 of an inch, so it's a little tight fit. So there we go. Now before we put our paper on, which is from the Whimsy and Wonder, it is 4 by 5 1/4. We want to put this little scalloped border on, and I'll tell you where I got that scalloped border. It is from the Scalloped Contours dies, and this die was right here, but I used it, so it's not. But you get all these other cool dies too. So Scalloped Contours dies. So I have a piece of 5 1/2 by 1 inch, 1 inch by 5 1/2 piece of polished pink cardstock. I just put this up here. I centered it. So the same distance on the edges there. Put it up against the edge, ran it through, and I got this cool little thing right here. Just in case you want to make more, or if you're watching and you don't have a kit, you can do that. All right, moving on. Let's see. This is about a little more than 1/8 of an inch from the top. So figure 1/8 of an inch, a little more, but not 1/4. That's about what you want from the top of your DSP. And then you want these scallops to be even on the edges. So, you know, so this scallop kind of goes up here, that scallop kind of goes up there, and so we will call that even. So when you have that where you want it, I guess we'll just go ahead and turn it over carefully and trim it. I'm thinking you could go ahead and glue that down, but if you feel comfortable doing this, you could just go ahead and do this and then glue it down. So let me get some glue here on the back. I'll just put some glue in each one of those and then across the top. Doesn't take a lot. And again, like we said, a little more than 1/8, not 1/4. Doesn't have to be exact though. Just want to leave room for everything else on the card. Okay, and then our ribbon. We have a 6-inch piece of, what is this? Soft succulent open weave ribbon. And you can find the outside by the curve. This is the outside, that's the inside. And it's going to go across the front here. So let's just go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on the back where we know that ribbon is going to hit. Stampin' Seal's being peculiar today. Come on, do your job. Don't slack off. So even spacing on the sides, and then I'm just going to wrap that around about 1/8 of an inch from the top. Maybe a little less, a little more. Just make sure it's the same on both sides. Unlike this, which it's not. There, I think that's got it. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it's ready to go on the front right here. So we'll put some Stampin' Seal on here. And I put some on the ribbon to keep that ribbon down. And I might put a little down there too. And that's just going to go here again, 1/16 of an inch, so not a lot of room to wiggle. If you have a hard time doing that, you can always use glue instead of the Stampin' Seal. That gives you more wiggle room. All right, now let's see. I probably, yeah, I don't know. Oops. So we've got that, and then on the inside we'll do, we're going to do our piece of 4 by 5 1/4 knit macaron. That will get that out of the way. Whoops, now that's not good. That's not good. So kind of twist it off. Good thing I didn't push it down really well, huh? There we go. That's so much better. So much better. All right, looking good so far. Now we got to do some stamping. We have some labels to stamp on. I'll grab those. You've got 2 labels in basic white and 1 in polished pink. These are from the Hippo and Friends dies. The basic white ones are from the smallest, and the polished pink are from the medium one. Okay, so in case you want to make more, and this is another set that is a go-to set for me. Hippo and Friends. So we'll be stamping on this, and of course I give you an extra one. We'll be stamping on our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of Whisper White that goes on the inside. And then we have another piece of not Whisper White, Basic White. It used to be called Whisper White. Now it is 5 1/2 by 2 1/8, and we'll be stamping our little ornaments on this. Okay, so let's just get our stamping stuff out. And we're going to use our Mint Macaron ink. Yay. So here's our Stamparatus. And I'm going to get a random stamp pad to go underneath there to keep that level. Try to watch the glare, because I know that glare can be annoying. So here's our ink. And let's do our 4 by 6 window sheet. Let me see if I can pull this over a little more out of there, so we don't have that glare. And here's our our stamps. This is going to be our front on the front label. May the love of the season warm your heart and fill your warm your home and fill your heart. So we'll need that one. We're going to need our little 3 ornaments. And what do we have on the inside? What do we have going on the inside? Wishing you cheer, Christmas cheer, and magical moments that last all year. That's this one. So that's our stamps. We'll start with the one for our label. It's going to go here. I'll put this down in the bottom left corner. Pick that up and ink that up. Like so. And then I have this little piece of paper that has a little bit of seal on it, sticky. Make sure I get the front. I'm going to slide that under and line this up where it'll look really pretty and even and nice in the center. It might take me a minute because this oval it's a little hard with the oval to line it up so that it looks right. But I do give you 2 in case you do need a second one. All right, let's ink this up and stamp our image. Now my ink pad is dry, so as usual I have a dry ink pad. And I just realized that I am using the the deluxe foam mat, which is only supposed to be for photopolymer stamps, and this is a cling stamp, so I don't need this. What I do need is I use this little pad that gives me just a little bit of lift, because these sometimes these do need a lift. So here's that. Now we have a piece of well, let's go ahead and clean off our plastic here. All right, so we clean that off. And put our, oops, didn't clean my plastic off. Clean my plastic off. It's kind of hard to see that mint macaron. It's so light. All right, my magnets are trying to have a little party there. So the inside is wishing you Christmas cheer. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the bottom left corner. And ink that up. And here's my 3.5 by 5. It's going to go on the inside. So, and as you see, there are, it goes over here almost to the very edge, and then there's where we stamp 3 times. We stamp the ornaments on the inside. So you want it over as close to the edge as you can pretty much get it without it, maybe 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Okay, I think that's right. Ink that up. Ta-da! And I'm gonna need another one. Like I said, my pad is dry. I think I may need to ink it up, guys. It seems like I have to do that every time, huh? Okay, so dry that off. So I did this kind of in generation stamping, so I will need to ink up my pad. So let me get my ink. Okay, all right. So we have this, and I'm going to bring in my plastic, which needs to be cleaned off. Now I'm going to put it back in the corner and get my 3 ornaments, and I'm going to put it in the over here in the bottom left corner. I'm going to ink that up with my ink pad that I have just put some new ink in. Hopefully this is going to make a difference. Okay, so I know that this is going to be generation stamping. I'm going to do one here, then here, then here. All right, so I just want to make sure that I leave room for that. And then this. Now this one is the lowest one in the center. So let's see. That looks about right. I'm using these lines to make them parallel to the side. Okay, so I want to make sure that I ink this up really, really good. Really, really good. Okay, so there's my first generation. Now bring my plastic back in. I'm going to move this over here. That's going to be my second generation. Not going to ink it up. Second. Okay, that's not really very inky, is it? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to ink that up. Then I'm just going to dab that a little bit, and then I'm going to do it again. That's cheating, but sometimes you have to cheat. Okay, so there we go. It's only cheating in stamping, so I think it's okay. And then this one's going to go in the corner up here. Now I'll try this and see if this is going to stamp well enough. Let me let it hold it there for a little bit and see if that makes a difference. Oh yeah, it's still a little light, but that's okay. I don't want it full strength. So there we go. First generation, second generation, third generation. So let's clean that stamp off. And that is our stamping. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not. That's not our stamping. Almost. Now this one, this we're just going to, I'm going to pay attention to where I put this. I have these marks here, so I'm just going to use this third mark here. I'm going to put that there. Ink this up. This is my 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. I'm going to flip it over, find my mark, put it back in place, ink it up again. These are for our front ornaments. Okay, and now we are done with our stamping. For real this time. So we do have a little bit of coloring to do with our Stampin' blends. So let's clean up everything. My plastic. I always want to clean off that plastic because if it gets ink on something, it won't be pretty. And put this over here. I'll put my stamps away later. Usually I put them away right away, but I will put them away later today. All right, so I'm trying to find room for everything. The colors that we're going to be using to color, let me close this up because it will get dried up if I don't, are mint macaron, melon mambo, or if you have pink, polished pink, and misty moonlight. I love those colors together. Alrighty, so let's see. as I recall, this one I used the light Melon Mambo, the one on the left, and I think I did my brush chip, and I didn't do the little star in the center. And you just want to take your time, let the ink flow. All you have to do is put it where you want the ink, and the ink will flow right out of there. But if you have a boo-boo, you can always do some more. Okay, so I did that one. Now I'm going to do this one over here. And I find it's easier if you have it towards you so that you can see. It's easier to get it where you want it, because you can see better. That's why I keep moving it a lot so that I can control it better. Okay. Excuse me. Not perfect, but it will suffice. All right, so next is our light light misty moonlight. And we're going to do the center one, and then that band in the center, we're not going to color it with Misty Moonlight. That's going to be a different color. So it's kind of hard for me to color and talk and not make a mess. So all right. And then lastly, well, not lastly, next we have light mint macaron. That is going to go here. And I can color the center part of this one. Light mint macaron. And then our dark mint macaron. Oh well, for your light mint macaron, you also want to do this part here on the blue. But don't touch the blue because it'll blend. That's why they're called blends. Okay, and then the dark mint macaron, you're going to want to do these. Well, let me get the brush tip. You're going to want to do the part that's kind of like the metal part that keeps the to hang it from. And then I like to kind of do that here, do this in dark as well. Oops, that's not the one I wanted in dark. This is the one. Oh well, it's okay. And I realized that this one I missed here. All right, so much better. Okay, so these are ready to die cut. So here's our dies, and these are gorgeous dies. I think it's a very good value. You get 2 sets of dies basically. And so we'll be die cutting these guys here. So I'm going to line this up. And I'm going to take my time because this is important to get this right. And that looks good. So let me get my little mini. Y'all know I love my mini. So I've got plate 1, plate 2. Then I've got this and another plate 2. And I'm just going to feed that through. Hope that my paper stays in place, which it normally doesn't, but that's okay. I can put it back in place. Oh, looks pretty good. I'm going to do the other one. Line this one up. And again, I'm going to take my time, my dear sweet time, because I don't want to have gone to all that trouble and then it not be nice. So here we go. 1 and 2, then this, and then another 2. I'm going to feed that through. This paper is so annoying. Okay, go through there, guys. Okay, that's enough of that. So let me get these away. So my paper looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and tape it down yet again. Going to replace my dies so I don't lose them. Here we go. These are ready to go on the front of our card, and I think we are now ready to put our card together. So we'll bring in this, and we'll do this with some Stampin' Seal. It's going to go right here. So pretty. Plenty of room to write a note to someone. These are going to go tuck them kind of underneath those, but you can see here's this. Let's go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to do that with some glue because I do need to be able to move it around a little if I don't get it like perfectly straight. Let me look at that. Okay, that looks good. Now, I haven't put those down permanently because I want to kind of see where this is going to go. This is kind of even between here and here, but more space down there. So let me go ahead and pull these off. I think I'm going to glue that as well. And again, more space down here than up between here, then more space here than between here. And even from side to side and level. And that looks good. All right, awesome. So this one I'm probably going to have to trim. And maybe that one too. Let's see. Now I like where this one is falling. Yeah, I like where that one is falling. So let me go ahead and put some glue dots on this, which I have to grab, of course. Okay, so I'm going to put, I don't know, do I need to put a glue dot on each one of these behind each ornament? Oh, well, I guess it can't hurt, right? And you do want to twist it off because, and you don't want to hold it by the little strings. Hold it by the ornaments because you'll bend the strings. All right, so I want it a little more over here so that it's not too close to the edge. I don't want it too close to this edge. Now, as you can see, this one I want shorter, so I'm going to have to trim it. So that one I want right there, so I think I will trim off enough so that it will go underneath here, underneath this little thing here. There, that's gonna be great. All right, so let me get some glue dots, and again, I don't know if I need glue dots under every one of these ornaments, but I don't think it hurts either. Don't want to get it too close to these, and you do want it straight. All right, it's not quite straight. I'll push it over this way. There. Ta-da! Now the next thing is I have a bow that goes here, and I started out with a 10-inch piece of the ribbon, the soft succulent, and I'm actually doing the bow for you so that you don't have to do your own bow. Now if it's a little flat from shipping, all you have to do is just take the edges and fluff it up like this, and it will be fine. It will fluff up just fine. Now this side is a little bit longer than that side, so I might just go ahead and trim this off there. And this seems to be flatter than this side, so I'm going to put my glue dots on the back here. Or I might just, well, I'm going to use 2 glue dots. Just put it on the glue dot and pinch. There's our bow. And then lastly, we have 3 medium pearls. They might be hiding in there. They like to hide, but they're in there. We're going to put 2 here and 1 over here. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and put 1 and 2 and then 1. Oops, come on. 1 over here in this corner. There, gorgeous. All right, well, we're done with this one. This is project number 3 in the Whimsical Trees class kit. Like I said, you can always check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current class kit I'm offering. Bye!